therapy, fix your trauma, and stop taking your shit out on other people. End of story, period. Hey guys, welcome back to Chaotic Commentary. Today we're going to be looking at some more Thanksgiving stories. So, let's get into it. Am I the asshole for not going to Thanksgiving at my brother's new house? My brother and his wife just bought a house earlier this year and want to host Thanksgiving at their house this time. Typically I host and my mom and I do all the cooking and cleaning, but this year I received a pretty upsetting medical diagnosis. Because of this, sister-in-law says she would host and cook. Every year my mother and father-in-law spend Thanksgiving at our house, as do my parents, brother, sister-in-law, and all of the children. I spoke with my brother about Thanksgiving yesterday and mentioned that my in-laws are excited to see their new house. He said he was excited to have everyone together, especially because he just decorated their house. We made a plan for who was bringing what food. Late last night, my sister-in-law sends me a text saying no offense to me or my in-laws, but they would only want their families to attend. What? Basically, she was saying my mother-in-law and father-in-law are not invited. I was under the impression that it was the same Thanksgiving we have every year, but moving it to a different house this year. There's no way I can tell my in-laws they aren't invited to Thanksgiving, so now I feel like I have to host a dinner at my house. Hosting, cooking, cleaning up the house, and then attending the gathering at my brother-in-law's will wipe me out. There is no way I can physically do both, so I am not going to my brother's this year. I know he will be upset since it's their new house. Am I the asshole for not attending Thanksgiving at my brother's? No. Why aren't the in-laws invited? Aren't the in-laws also hurt? Wait. Okay, so they're your wife's in-laws. Why can't they be invited? That's mean to not invite them just because they're his in-laws, but they're still a part of the family. You can still invite them. Why exclude them? ETA update. My brother called me earlier to say he and his wife talked last night and she was absolutely against my in-laws attending. She didn't even have a valid reason. My brother didn't agree with her at all. Feels she's being unreasonable and told her she needs to be the one to tell me they aren't invited because he was not supporting her decision. He then said he and the rest of the family will be coming to my house and attending Thanksgiving as if it were any other year. They, along with my husband, will be taking over all the hosting, cooking, and cleaning responsibilities. It sounds like sister-in-law is going to host her family at her house. As it should be, because why are you excluding people? You don't even have a valid reason of why you don't want them to come simply because they're not your family. I know there were a lot of questions and I'll try to answer them individually. But no, sister-in-law and my in-laws are absolutely not strangers. We have spent holidays together as one big family for years, so it was really hard not to feel like she was purposely excluding them. Neither myself, my husband, or my brother can think of any reason she has for doing this other than to exercise some kind of control over the situation. I would understand like if you didn't know these people, but if you have spent holidays with them before, what's the issue now? Like why are you trying to just I'm just confused about why are you just excluding people. So they expected to be at Thanksgiving at this other person's house, but now you want to host it but exclude the people who are usually invited? Then just host your family. Like not your husband not gonna go to your Thanksgiving, he gonna go to his family's Thanksgiving because you just being like this for what? Thank you everyone for the warm words and great suggestions. I am actively looking into ordering a Thanksgiving meal to take the work off of everyone. I think we all deserve a break. It's great that usually you have like the brother-in-law or not the brother taking his wife's side, but I'm really glad that he did not take his wife's side on this one because what is her reason? Like the fact that you're not even given a reason besides you just don't want them there. Do you have a problem with them? If so, why don't you just say that? And why would you have a problem with them? What have they done to you? I'm really glad that the brother took his sister's side and not his wife's side, because usually it's the other way around. Next story. Am I the asshole for telling my husband to not come to Thanksgiving? I'm 33 female. Husband is the same age. He loathes Thanksgiving. Who loathes Thanksgiving? Thanksgiving is delicious. Delicious. He's a picky eater and doesn't like any of the options served except turkey. But even then, he insists that my family doesn't cook it right. He is no contact with his side of the family except for his brother, so him going to see his family is not an option. My sister recently moved closer, so this Thanksgiving is being held at her new house. This is the only reason the holiday came up this early. I was showing him pictures of the house from the old Zillow listing and mentioned that I didn't want to overwhelm her by visiting so early and moving in, and I just wait to see it for real at Thanksgiving. My husband grumbled something about having to attend and talk with my family. He is barely tolerant of my extended family. He doesn't like the conversation topics, saying they all talk about themselves, They only talk about old people things. They say the same things every year. They have never said anything rude to him personally, but he still isn't crazy about my side and would just kind of hang out and talk to my dad or brother or play with my nieces and nephews. Why does he have a problem with your family? Like why is he so upset? And like if they've never been rude to him, like why do you just not like people? I mean, I'm not a hugely people person myself, but if this is your wife's family, you at least, try to be cordial and friendly. Even if he did have a good conversation with my dad or play with my nephews, he would still complain about having to see people he doesn't care about and see all the gross food we all eat. Man, your husband seems like a very grumpy person for no reason. It is so difficult to listen to year after year. After he complained for a bit, I told him to just not come for Thanksgiving if he hates it that much. He sees all the members of my family that he likes for Christmas anyway. He looked offended at my suggestion and asked if I didn't want his company. I wouldn't want your company if you're just being a grump all the damn time. Don't nobody want to deal with that. I told him I love being around, but now he's not having fun and is going to complain at the end. He said I hurt his feelings to even suggest that he not come with me to something he's invited to. I told him if he's not having fun at an event, that he has no obligation to attend and he doesn't have to come. He still insists that he's hurt and that he thinks now that I don't want him there. Am I the asshole? No, you're not the asshole. Why is he upset about you telling him that he's not obligated to go when he clearly doesn't want to be there? If you don't like her family, you don't like the food, you don't like Thanksgiving in general, why are you going to a Thanksgiving dinner? If I were this person, I'd be like, hey, good, I can stay home and watch some movies or something. What you mad for? He just seems like a really grumpy person to me, and as someone who has dealt with a very grumpy person, you generally don't want to be around a grumpy person. He just seems like he's just a grump. My opinion, not the asshole. Let's read a couple of comments and then move on. First comment, not the asshole. Hubby sounds extremely immature. Is he like this in other contexts that don't involve groups or family gatherings? Does he suffer from social anxiety? I mean, I guess it could be social anxiety, but it doesn't really seem like, because he's not saying that he's just saying he doesn't like them. And if you do have normally people with social anxiety are happy to get out of an event that they didn't want to go to anyway, so I don't know. So OP comments, no, but I think there's a part of him that just doesn't understand why I want to spend time with my family and relatives that I often see only once a year on Thanksgiving. He does also have food-related trauma, hence his pickiness, but nobody forces him to eat. What is food-related trauma? Do I have food-related trauma? I feel like I do, in some cases. There were things as a kid I was forced to eat and would gag on, and to this day, I still gag on those foods. So, I guess food-related trauma is a thing. And someone says, having previous trauma of any sort does not give one a pass to inflict it on others. Husband needs to find a therapist to process his particular issues, not make you carry the emotional weight of them. And someone says, his trauma isn't his fault, but fixing it is his responsibility. You can't go around saying, I have trauma and be a grade A jerk. Oh my God, that is so freaking true. People like this who know that they have issues and refuse to fix them and are just an asshole. Or even worse, people who refuse to admit that they have trauma and that is why they act like an asshole. I have been with a person like this and it's very hard. Go to therapy, fix your trauma, and stop taking your shit out on other people. End of story, period. Well, that's it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Tell me down in the comments below what your thoughts are on these stories. Thanks for watching. See you guys next time. Bye!